What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So, I want to talk about something that I don't know if you guys are aware of. But I was watching a video. Roy Jones said he wanted to fight Jake Paul. He wanted to test his chin and see if he's really about it, right? Roy Jones made a comment that Jake Paul has a better chance against him or somebody like Mike Tyson than he does against a younger, opponent, right? And all that. And then I thought about how, now this is nothing new, how he's constantly bringing up Floyd's name and always trying to degrade Floyd's name, right? And you know what I thought about? Because remember, I said to you guys, after he fought Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, I said, I won't be surprised. So what if he fights Roy Jones next? And I'm thinking, like, Roy Jones is probably doing all this bullshit to keep his name relevant because he knows what's happening right now is what he wanted to happen. Everybody's asking who wins, Floyd Mayweather or Roy Jones. Everybody's bringing up the fact he's talking like he want to fight Floyd. Oh, we can fight in the street, or we can fight all this stupid bullshit he's talking. Old nigga trying to be a fucking street nigga. So he's talking and saying all this shit. And I'm like, you know what? This is part of how you promote yourself too. This is part of trying to get more people talking about your name. Maybe he's trying to also use this for the point of trying to build that interest up, where now that people are talking about him again, all of a sudden we hear it's official. Jake Paul versus Roy Jones Jr. on Netflix. And if that would be the case, I wouldn't be shocked. But that just shows, even if it doesn't happen, but it definitely just shows that bitterness, that jealousy, and the desperation of you using somebody's name for clout to try to get yourself relevant enough for people to talk about you, to even want to see you in a fight with Jake Paul. And I feel like that is part of his motivation, because for him to sit here talking about and then saying he want to fight, but then they're like, is it gonna happen? Are you gonna fight Floyd? If you want to fight, if you want to. What you mean if he want to? You're the one issued the challenge, right? So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, all of a sudden Shane Mosley's doing a video the other day. People, he's talking about Devin Haney, talking about how little nigga, I whoop your ass, and then he starts talking. Shane Mosley made a fool out of himself in that video. Shane Mosley is talking about he getting disrespectful, talking about something, I'm broke, I can't pay my bills, and niggas in my house, and nigga laying on the couch. I'm like, first of all, when the fuck you start talking about nigga? I'm like, damn, Shane, are you that irrelevant, man, that now you trying to act like a young nigga? Nigga in my house, you know what I'm saying? Nigga laying up in the couch. You talking like that? I never heard Shane say the word nigga the entire time this motherfucker been fighting. And now all of a sudden, he gets to this age, and now all of a sudden he's trying to talk like some little hood nigga. I'm like, wow, Shane Mosley. And what does he do? He's that disrespectful, like that Floyd shit. And I'm like, wow, here come another old salty bitter motherfucker with a bunch of hair dye, and motherfucker got a lower haircut like you got fucking shoe polish on your damn scalp. I'm looking at this shit and I said, yeah. And what does he do next? He starts talking about Floyd versus Roy. And I said, yeah, see, here we go. All these old motherfuckers get together. Let's hate on Floyd. It's all people trying to see. That's how the YouTube algorithm works. So now anybody mentioning Floyd and Roy, their names, their videos are going to pop up as well. Then he gives his 2 cents about who he think would have won. I'm like, it's always somebody who Floyd already whooped their ass talking about what somebody else can do. You can't beat Floyd. Neither can Roy, as far as I'm concerned. But at the same time, in their prime, I think, yo, listen. once again, my point. All of you people are using your imagination about what you think and what nobody gives a fuck about it. I look at what happened, and that's all I have to look at is the reality that is. Not trying to rewrite history, not trying to rethink and reimagine. No, simple. He whooped your ass. And when he called you out, you wanted to get your tooth fixed and go on vacation. Remember that? So all this shit about age, Shane Mosley made up this pathetic excuse about he had a groin injury. He said he had a groin injury when he fought Pacquiao as well. And the funny thing about it is he's the one who wanted that ass whooping. He's the one jumped in the ring with Bernard Hopkins. But yet Floyd waited for you to get old. Floyd was trying to fight you way before that. And why do I give receipts? Because you motherfuckers will sit here and create some bullshit narrative and go with it. And then I'm like, now when you see him go in that ring and call him out, and then I show you videos where he's calling out Oscar De La Hoya, calling out Sugar Shane Mosley, and Shane Mosley didn't want the smoke. Yet Floyd is the one who ducked him. Well, this is exactly what should happen. See, when people are arrogant and keep talking shit, I don't care for that kind of shit. Jake Paul obviously has no fucking shame. He'll fight anybody in a wheelchair or with the walker. You know, as long as they got a hunch in their back, if you can stand up straight, he don't want to fight you. But what should happen is Roy Jones and Jake Paul should get the fight. And Jake should knock Roy the fuck out early. Now, of course, Roy's excuse would be his age and the fact that Jake Paul is really good and people don't understand Jake Paul's... Yeah, of course, because he knocked you out. Now you want to try to tell us something that our two eyes don't see. No, he's still very green. But at the same time, why? Because that would wake people up to start getting sick of Roy's bullshit. I don't give a fuck about him having an opinion. That's not what it is. I'm saying some people just talk like they're still that same guy. But then they got the nerve to always resort to when I was in my prime. Okay, but you're no longer in your prime. And even in your prime, you still have an opinion about what you would have done, who you would have beaten. Even if we agreed with you, it's still an opinion, not a fact. So, when you can talk about someone else as if they have something to prove or they didn't prove these things to us, but they've proven themselves far more than you did. Like, example, I'll give you an example of something. Let's look at Roy Jones when he fought Richard Hall. Performance-wise, that was one of the fights where he was catching Richard Hall with some solid body shots. He was catching them all day. And Richard Hall was taking the shots. He did get wobbled. But, you know, I think he dropped him in that fight too. But the ref stopped it because Roy was catching this dude with shots and he wouldn't go down. Who the fuck is Richard Hall? Who, this was a guy who his name only comes up only at any point in time if it's about the Roy Jones fight. And that fight doesn't come up. It's when you look at the Roy Jones highlights. That's what people do. Or for the people that might watch the fight on YouTube or whatever. What I'm saying, Richard Hall wasn't even a good fighter. Roy Jones smacked him around, embarrassed him. He put on a show. This is not a high-level fighter. Now, my point is, we all can see Roy was a phenomenal fighter. Can't take shit away from Roy. But that's my point. He went in there and did that kind of shit to people of that fucking caliber. He didn't do that shit to Bernard Hopkins. Now, he definitely outfought James Toney, outlanded him. You know, it was no brawl or nothing, but he won the fight on points. But, you understand what I'm saying? All that playing around and how he was. You understand what I'm saying to you? He doesn't have a resume of a bunch of great fighters on his fucking resume at all. At all. He only had, John Ruiz ain't shit. He was just a heavyweight. All them other dudes that he fought, this is what I'm saying. There's nobody, he have 2 Hall of Famers in his whole career on his resume. 2 all-time greats on his resume. It's not a knock on Roy Jones as a fighter. It's the logic he's using. He's a hypocrite. And no, he doesn't have a stellar resume of opponents. Facts. Look at who he fought. Floyd, on the other hand, when you look at and say, Ray Leonard fought Hagler, he fought Hearns, he fought Duran, he fought Benitez, he fought Davey Boy Green. Like, you know, Green is not up on that level, but I'm saying, right there you can look at and say, damn, you ain't got damn nobody else. You can say Ali fought Liston, he fought Frazier, Norton, Foreman, you know, Chevalo, several other names, man. I mean, he done fought some, you know, Ernie Terrell, you know, Cleveland Williams. Like, he got some solid names on there. This is my point. You could look at Evander Holyfield, destroyed Tyson, Fort Lewis, Fort Riddick Bowe, Fort George Foreman. I mean, this dude fought Roy Mercer, he fought like his, you know, these motherfuckers got resumes. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you look at Floyd. He fought Oscar De La Hoya. And the thing is, he didn't just fight them, he beat them. But beat him, beat Shane, beat Canelo, beat Pacquiao. I don't even have to say nobody else after that. But he beat Chop Cordy, beat motherfucking Sean Bay Mitchell, beat Angel Manfredi. This motherfucker beat Diego Corrales. He didn't. Yo, this dude has a stellar resume, is what I'm telling you. Beat Zab Judah, beat Ricky Hatton. I mean, goddamn, beat Shane Mosley. All right? Now, let's do this with Roy. James Toney, Bernard Hopkins. Now, aside from those two, a washed up Mike McCallum, a heavyweight bum, and John Ruiz, Virgil Hill. And I'm saying the best on his resume. People like Eric Harding and Murky Sosa, these are just dudes, man. Like, these, you understand what I'm saying? Like, nothing about these dudes. So this is what I'm saying. You just be naming people that you remember their names. I'm saying all-time greats, Hall of Famers, James Toney, Bernard Hopkins. That's it. That's it. So for him to try to disrespect Floyd's resume, and his resume is far better than his, not to mention just recently, he said if anybody can come back and turn the clock back, it's Manny Pacquiao. And gave Manny Pacquiao kudos for being such a great fighter and an all-time great and all the shit he said, praising Manny Pacquiao. Wait, you forget, Roy Jones, that Floyd spanked Manny Pacquiao already, and you said Floyd waited for him to get old. But then, too, he also was the one that said, how the hell is Manny Pacquiao going to be greater than Floyd when Floyd beat him, right? See, this is my point, though. That conversation was about Roy speaking, wanting to show his boxing knowledge and understanding. But see, now his hatred makes him forget he said that. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing about it is, he always tried to, he take credit away from Floyd, right? But his thing was not that he was mad at Max about nothing, but it was something that they was, bottom line, is like he was trying to prove Max wrong about shit, because it was things they was talking about, and Max Kellerman had a different outlook than Roy did, and he was speaking strongly about how he felt. So now here Max Kellerman knows more about everything than everybody else, right? Well, you see, he praised Juan Manuel Marquez. He praised Ricky Hatton. He praised Canelo. All these guys that Floyd destroyed. All these guys that he beat, Miguel Cotto, all these people. You understand what I'm saying? yo, these are all-time great Hall of Fame fighters that their names are, and Floyd beat all these motherfuckers. And you gonna sit here and try to question the man's resume. Yeah, here you are trying to get a fight with Jake Paul as well. Roy Jones is trying to get a payday. It's not Floyd that he wants to fight. No, he's talking that bullshit because he got exposed and he looked stupid. Now, when I say exposed, we already know he got knocked out. What I'm saying is he got exposed as being a fucking hater. And and Floyd still ain't said a fucking word yet. People talk about, oh, Roy Jones clapped back at Floyd. What you mean he clapped back? You mean Floyd clapped back at him? Yeah, you doing all this talking about me and I couldn't beat that person, right? Okay, cool. Bad. Let's watch this. No words, just watching you get your ass whooped. I don't personally care to see no fucking Floyd versus no damn Jake Paul. But case in point, Roy Jones need to learn how to humble himself. And I think he's too arrogant, too big-headed to know how to do that. And maybe he get embarrassed enough in a fight that people will start to be more real with him and let him know, like, Roy, you be saying some bullshit. If you know, like Shane Mosley example. When Shane Mosley was talking this shit about Devin Haney, and this is how I know they do this shit for attention. Because you got to remember, when you do an interview, and the interviewer put, like Shane Mosley says, I'll fuck you up to Devin Haney, right? And then this is what Shane ends up doing. He ends up talking all this stuff about niggas in his couch, niggas sleeping in his house, niggas this, niggas that, and all of a sudden he want to sound like a street nigga all of a sudden. So I'm listening to this motherfucker, and then he starts talking about, he's talking shit about Devin Haney, and they say he's on some Floyd Mayweather shit, right? Once again, what did Floyd have to do with that conversation? This is the shit I be talking about. What the fuck did Floyd have to do with that conversation? Nothing. He brings up Floyd's name. But then, through all of that, he ends up talking about, like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? He starts talking about how he respect Bill Haney, he like Bill Haney. How the fuck you gonna disrespect my son and talk about you like, man, fuck you, I'll smack the shit out you. You understand what I'm saying? Then he ends up talking about, it's like, you know, like, I feel like that uncle, you know, like when you have a nephew, and I'm, okay. I said, I already heard enough now. Clout chasing, just trying, okay, I got you. Because the video thumbnail make you think there's a beef. There's a situation. Like, okay, here come another fucking elderly motherfucker wanting to come out of fucking retirement, so or whatever. Nope, just talking shit. And I'm like, is this what we doing in boxing now, man? Just sitting up making up fake beef videos and trying to pretend to be something that we're not? Is this what we're doing now? Because for that to be said, just for him to end up talking about like he's like an uncle, you know, and Dev like that nephew that don't understand, but he's trying to be disrespectful in a way, but like, you know, you're just mad at your nephew, but like you love him, and I'm like, all right, you understand what I'm saying? But then dwell on Floyd. Start talking about Roy. I'm like, okay, there we go. Yeah, just trying to, hey, I'm Sugar Shane Mosley. Remember me? That's what that was. And it was just pure bullshit. And I'm like, okay. And you know, the thing with Shane, I don't know if he still have it, but I know he had his own little YouTube channel. And I remember when Roy Jones was on there, they were talking about the Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney situation. And I remember, and Shane Mosley is another one that always tries to take credibility away from Floyd. And the reason he don't mind doing it, even though he got his ass whooped by Floyd, is because he tried to use his age as an excuse. Nah, nigga, if that's the case, then when you lost to Floyd, you should have fucking retired. No, but you kept fighting. You fought on. You got your ass whooped by Pacquiao. You got your ass whooped by Miguel Cotto. You got your ass whooped by Canelo Alvarez. I mean, come on. Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? And then the fighters that Floyd didn't fight, that he tried, Vernon Forrest, man, come on. These dudes, these motherfuckers that you name, Pacquiao didn't fight them either. There's people, you know, so at the end of the fucking day, it's like, even these names that he bring up don't mean shit. And the fact of the matter is, when you got to sit here and bring other people's names into the picture, it just go to show you that you're bitter. Because this same dude beat your ass. Same way Vernon Forrest beat your ass, he beat your ass too. So, I mean, so all these people that you name, what did that have to do with you? And that's always a deflection. And well, he didn't fight this guy. Yeah, right. And he's still 50-0. You still got like 7 losses or whatever the fuck on your record. So what is your point? Now let's look at it this way, right? Floyd beat Miguel Cotto's ass. Miguel Cotto beat Sugar Shane's ass. Was you old when you lost to Miguel Cotto? Was you old when you lost to Vernon Forrest? Twice. Were you old when you lost to Winky Wright? Twice. You understand what I'm saying? So let's stop with this whole, oh, they were old, you know, with Shane was, no, motherfucker, you wasn't, your age ain't had shit to do with it. You just got your ass whooped. When you beat Margarito, your age didn't come up, and everybody tried to make a big deal like you beat, hey, Margarito's that guy. Sloppy, slow foot, cheating ass motherfucking Margarito, right? You know, Mike Tyson, his losses came in his front. Nah, stop. He was 23 when he got his ass whooped by Buster. And because you niggas want to sit here and glaze the fuck out of Mike, you want to act like it never happened. And also, you want to overlook his age. So he was washed up at 23? No, fuck, he was in his prime. He just got his ass whooped. Yeah. He lost when he was in his prime. Same bullshit y'all want to talk about with Roy. But at the same time, like I said, unfortunately, and here's the thing. He got knocked the fuck out by Tara and got beat the fuck up in the third fight. I thought Roy won the first fight. But they're the same fucking age. So you can't pull that shit about age when it comes, oh, but he was arguable. That's his problem. You too old, then retire. Retire. People was calling Roy Jones a bum, calling him a journeyman. They was making fun of him. I know this shit. I'm listening to this shit. I'm reading the comments. But then it's like years later, all of a sudden now, y'all back to loving, y'all love Roy Jones. Nah, it's like I told you, when it's somebody new to hate on, that it's like, now let's start big up in this guy we used to. It's like listening to, we used to hate on this guy, like listening to music, right? I can remember listening to a particular artist and people were saying that person fell off. I enjoyed their music. I don't make all this, yo, my top 5 and who this and that, and who you think, whatever. And the funny thing is, I can remember people like not saying, oh, he fell off. And I'm talking like 10, 15 years later, I'm listening to that same album. Yo, that's fire, yo. I like that. Who that, yo? And when you tell them who it, word? Hey, motherfucker, you got Alzheimer's or some shit. I used to listen to this shit way back. What? Yeah, motherfucker. And you was in there. What the fuck are you talking about? No, you know what it is? If people are saying that person fell off, you don't even hear, no, you didn't hear the music. But he fell off. Why? Because people said so. But now you're listening to this shit years later and all this, yo, so where you got to get a copy of that? Yo, I'm loving that right there. But you said it was whack when this shit came out. This is how the fuck y'all do it. A bunch of flip-floppers. Y'all know I gotta bring the truth. I gotta bring shit to the light. That's what the fuck, that's what I do. So that being said, going forward, if we get an announcement that Roy Jones will be fighting Jake Paul, don't get shocked. Just understand what I've been telling you. He slipped that in there about wanting to test Jake Paul's chin. And I feel like now if he passes a physical, I believe Jake Paul definitely would take this fight because that's what Jake Paul does. He just fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Mike Tyson before that. Fight bums and old washed up fighters. And old washed up MMA fighters. That's all the fuck he does. Look at the one loss on his record. And that motherfucker he fought wasn't shit. Y'all know that. And he beat Jake Paul. Yeah, but he don't have that many fights. Okay. Keep making excuses for him. But bottom line, I will not be shocked if that's the very next fight. Jake Paul versus Roy Jones. And of course, the conversation is going to be Roy's an all-time great. Roy, this is right. Yeah, right. Because Roy is just trying to make another fucking payday. That's all. But the fact that he's using Floyd Mayweather's name for clout, the fact that he feels like if I show hatred towards Floyd, more people are going to like me. And that's what y'all like him more about, because why? He doesn't like Floyd. He's talking shit about Floyd. So to y'all, see, yeah. And Roy was this, yeah, you the same motherfuckers was saying Roy was overrated because he fought all these bombs and he, you know, yeah, he don't have the resume to be an all-time great. But now all of a sudden he, you know, hey, and listen, my thing was I don't even give a fuck about all that. I always liked Roy Jones as a fighter. Roy be saying some bullshit out of his mouth. And if he ends up fighting a Jake Paul and you're trying to use Floyd's name, just like all of a sudden now Shane is talking shit about Devin Haney and then bring Floyd's name into it, you know, they all want to try to make money. And being that Floyd still be doing exhibitions, yeah, I'm pretty sure Shane would get in there and he'd get his ass whooped again and look stupid all over again and make excuses like he did last time. And for what? And that's the thing. Floyd don't need any of them. He don't need any of them. But all of them feel that they need to use his name. Roy Jones, like I said, had nothing to say to James Toney. James Toney said, if I'd have been in shape, if I had been in shape for Roy, nobody, if I'd have been trained for nobody, y'all even heard of Roy ever again. What does Roy Jones say? Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that's why it makes me laugh when I look at him and I'm thinking, like, you know what? I think this motherfucker's trying to use this shit to, like I said, get enough talk going about it. So when he's announced about fighting Jake Paul, because you always got to remember, like people like me, you know, a lot of y'all, we remember who Roy Jones is. But there's a lot of people who like don't know. So there'd be people that will be seeing Roy Jones for the first time. And you want to know what they're going to do? They're going to show all his old highlights. And motherfuckers who don't know who Roy is, like, oh shit, yo, this dude was not, yo. And they think that that's what's going to get in there with Jake Paul. No, the version that you going to get got a shiny little peanut fucking head, a small pointed peanut head with a fat wide face and a pot belly and a wrinkled up hairy chest. That's what the fuck y'all going to get. That's what y'all going to get. Not the highlights of the young motherfucker. That's what y'all going to get. And people are so stupid because they'll not decipher the fact that, okay, he's not the same guy anymore. That's not who Jake Paul just beat. Jake beat this fat, out of shape version of himself. Yes, see, and this is what I'm saying. People don't understand this shit. You accept bullshit, bullshit becomes normal to you. Every generation that rejected something, and you watch, so years later somebody try to make it a normal thing and they try to force it on you. They try to keep pushing it, and it just becomes a new narrative. My son today, same thing. We was watching movies and he said, Pop, he said, man, every time you tell me something, he said, I hear you, but it's like, it always something that I see later. I said, yeah, well, me saying it to you probably just had you paying more attention. That's all. I said to my son, every movie, like I watch movies on Tubi, okay? I watch movies in general, but if you watch, and Tubi has a lot of black cinema, I said, I notice every fucking movie is like the female is tough. The dudes in the movie is a bunch of soft bitches. They always have something where like men have been demasculated. Women are extremely masculine. Dudes, please don't. I love you. I don't want to lose you. They had a movie where this dude wanted to propose to this chick. He's literally screaming, please no, please no, please no. He's holding on her ankle and he came to propose to her. She told him, I came here to tell you I want to break up and I'm in love with somebody else and all that. And smacked the motherfucker in the head, knocked him down. I mean, chicks walking up, kicking doors in, putting guns in motherfuckers, smacking them, calling them, I mean, and I'm like, yeah. And it's an agenda. It's a feminist movement, and people see it. My son saw that shit. He said, man, and this is what I'm telling you guys. So when I say I don't like certain shit, you don't know what you're watching until you get it, until you watch it. But it's like I lost interest. It's like, fuck with the movies, man. And I just move on. But I see the agenda. So my point, what I'm telling you is, we grew up as little soldiers. These dudes are growing up soft in their feelings, emotional. Grown-ass men are literally arguing over video games. Grown-ass men arguing over other grown-ass men. You see like the little video I put, man, a little fantasy, I'm going away, 15 queens for one guy. I just did that for the fellas, just for fun. Well, y'all a bunch of sissies, y'all don't like women or something? I don't know. But you understand, that get a break away from this boxing talk for a second. Just for fun, I threw that shit up there, right? I do that shit like that from time to time. There's nothing to argue about. But like, do you see the comment section flooded with dudes debating on who they take, if not all of them? Or how, whatever? No, it's not what I put it up there for. What I'm saying. You go in the comment section on my videos and dudes are arguing over other dudes. We talk about principles and facts. Sound reasoning, critical thinking with certain shit. We're not talking about who we like personally. I'm telling y'all, probably all of the motherfuckers, all right? Probably all of them. Listen, let me tell you, rich people think they're better than you. Okay, they think you're beneath them. And like when you're standing there glazing, have you ever do you ever see celebrities looking at an interviewer? Oh, you're very handsome. Oh, no. It's always the fucking interviewer. Oh, it's such an honor to be here. Oh, thank you for gracing me with your, like, shut your bitch ass up. That's what they do. That's what it is. Know your rightful place. That's what that is. So all of this whole glaze, this is what they expect to happen. So when you see Roy Jones walking, and I tell you, look at how this dude is walking. When Roy Jones is hitting those little ping pong paddles and all, and I'm like, Roy Jones is doing all of this shit stationary. He's trying to show you he still got the speed, got a little pop on his punch, right? Now hit a moving target. Yeah. And the thing about it is, if you let Roy Jones walk you down at this stage in his life, you really can't fight. You really can't fight because Roy Jones has no footwork anymore. None. He's flat-footed and all that coming out with his hands to the side and all that, yeah, he did that shit with Mike Tyson. So if you believe that you watched the real fight, you should have known, if you thought that was a real fight, that Mike Tyson didn't have anymore because Roy is shot and Mike couldn't even knock him out. But I know what I saw. A bunch of hugging, a bunch of little slaps to the side, holding and just, whatever, man. You understand what I'm saying? So if Roy Jones goes in there and he fights Jake Paul is pretty much in zero danger. And it will be a boring-ass fucking fight for them to be sitting there pit-pat with each other, which means Jake Paul should go in there and knock his old ass out. And like I said, it's a thing of wake the fuck up and stop being so arrogant, but I just feel like that's just his character. Like, that's just who he's, just an arrogant dude that talk a lot of shit and feel like he can say whatever he wants to say, but nobody's supposed to challenge him. Like he's some god or something or whatever the fuck. Nah, ain't no slaves, ain't no niggas here. So, nah. I would love, I don't want to interview them motherfuckers. I would love to have a face-to-face conversation with them, though. Because for me, and for the fact of, who the fuck are you? Who is it? You can say, like, you feel you can say things about people that's disrespectful. You think, like, you're on some pedestal, like, coming from you. There's nothing they supposed to do about it. At the same fucking time, I can remember, like I said, people booing your ass, people hating you. I hope somebody knocked that motherfucker. I mean, let me tell you some shit, man. I remember when I watched Roy Jones get knocked out by Tarver, the room was so loud. Yes! Yeah! I mean, people were celebrating. People hated Roy Jones. Now, did he have fans and did people like, yeah. But I mean a lot. They try to make it sound like Roy Jones was the most loved person in the world. They try to make it sound like Muhammad Ali was the most loved man. Them racist motherfuckers hated Muhammad Ali. They couldn't stand Ali. They could not hated Ali. Did you ever see the video? Because I got the receipts if y'all want it. When Muhammad Ali was talking and he was like, I'm an arrogant nigga. You think these white folks like that? They don't like me. I'm an arrogant nigga. This is Ali. I bet a lot of y'all didn't even know Ali said shit like that. I'm an arrogant nigga. They don't like that about me. And this is, but bottom fucking line though. People hated him. Now after all the shit he went through and all that, and then, you know, through time, he's no longer a fighter, but Ali was always funny, he knew how to make people laugh and shit like that. And I know inside people feel like he don't seem like a bad guy, man. Nah. But, you know, because people don't want to admit that they're racist. They don't want to admit that they have this, hey, this is the natural order of things. Who are you to go against it? And then obviously you get Parkinson's, you see him sitting there shaking, he can barely talk. Now you got people feeling bad for him. So now all of a sudden, oh, you know, Ali, yeah. All right. And that's all that is. But nah, he, you know, talking this shit like a lot of these motherfuckers. I don't even want to talk to the motherfuckers. Like, you know, I'm saying I would like to talk to them, not on no, hey, let's interview it. I'm talking like on some man to man. This is real life shit. Fuck cameras. You understand what I'm saying? We say what we say about you because of what you fucking do and say. You know, Oliver McCall. Remember he quit in the rematch with Lennox Lewis? Oliver McCall said, this is a free country. If I don't want to fight, I don't have to fight. If you listen to Oliver McCall talk, you can tell the dude is not all there. And I always wondered, how in the fuck did they let this dude box? Like, you can clearly understand, like, see, like, when you listen, Oliver McCall has some screws loose. When he said that shit about it's a free country, I ain't got to fight if I don't want to. I see Oliver McCall walking around the fucking ring crying and all these. I mean, I'm like, how? How? Right? Imagine Oliver McCall getting mad at me for saying that shit. You know why, Oliver McCall? Because your head ain't right. That's why I said it. I didn't say it to pick on you and make fun of you. I said it because you clearly got things wrong with you. But somehow they saw it fit that you was stable enough mentally to be a fighter and not be any more of a harm than the next fighter because of your mental state. But I'm saying even for you to get your brains beat in to the point where, you know, you might not be the same and shit, you fucked up. Something's wrong with you. That's why I said it. What else you want to know? Because when I have grown-up conversations with people, that's how it go. Ain't no glazing over here, man. I couldn't be that dude sitting there smiling with no microphone in my hand and trying to be your friend and act all like I'm going to say what you want me to say. Or nah. If me and Roy Jones is face to face right now, and Roy Jones is like, but you said it, yeah, here's the deal, Roy. Why do you feel like you have to keep talking about Floyd? You mention this man's name every chance you get. And then you sit there in an interview and say, if you don't respect Muhammad Ali, right, you might as well spit in my face, not like you and Ali are the same, like he's your brother or whatever. I said, I would tell him, but you spend more time talking about Floyd. I don't hear you talking about Muhammad Ali. You ain't got to worry about what Floyd said. If this was about Muhammad Ali, then on your own initiative, then that's who you'd be talking about. And that's what you'd be trying to promote to people, what Ali meant to the sport and why he's the greatest and all that, in your opinion and all that. Not sitting up here trying to tell everybody how Floyd isn't. You talking about Ray Leonard and all. You sitting up here talking about who Floyd couldn't beat and this and that. What does any of this have to do with him not putting Muhammad Ali in his top 5? And who the fuck are you to tell somebody who's in their top fucking 5? Motherfucker, you over here praising Ray Leonard, and Ray Leonard ain't even in your top 5. And he's not in Floyd's top 5. Roberto Duran is in both of y'all fucking top 3. And Ray Leonard beat that motherfucker. Twice. So I don't feel like none of this shit is about Ali. This is all about you not being where Floyd is. And it bothers you. And like you said, people always telling me Floyd Mayweather would have beat Ray Leonard. So even off camera, you talking about the dude. So what the fuck gives you the right to talk about Floyd? But when we talk about you, oh, people saying this and people hating and people, nah. I'm not going to retract nothing I fucking said. This is what I mean, what people are not used to, this kind of real man shit. Y'all all this get on social media back and forth bullshit. Didn't you see Roy Jones sit there and tell Shannon Sharp that he would have beat Ali and said, in my prime, the question is, what could Mike Tyson do with me? And he said he'd have beat Mike Tyson and anybody else that they put in front of him. Oh, so when you say anybody, you know what the word anybody means? That means anybody. So you would have beat Ali too, huh? You would have beat whoever, right? You see what I'm saying to you? He probably would try to not make himself look as bad as he already did. I'm talking about anybody in that era, at that time. Well, even if that's the case, then you wouldn't have went up and challenged the weakest champion in division. The two champions at the time, Chris Bird had the IBF or the WBO. He had one of them. It might have been the IBF. The WBO might not have been, or either I think it was. Bottom line, Chris Bird and Lennox Lewis had the other two belts. And he go and challenge the weakest of the three. If you wanted to make a statement, if you would have fought Lewis and beat Lewis, which you wouldn't have, but that would have been one hell of a statement that he beat Lennox Lewis of all people. You beat John Ruiz, man. So after all of this time, and Roy Jones talk about how he ain't fighting again, ain't no need, the money got to be right. I mean, let somebody offer me millions of dollars, okay. And who the fuck you going to fight and get that kind of money other than Jake Paul? I think that's the direction he's trying to go. Now, if something happens in that, I don't know. We'll see. Well, not that I would give a fuck. I just think that's the direction he's trying to go into. And like I said, Jake Paul don't care. Because Jake Paul going to look back and he's going to be, like I said, the Randy Orton of boxing, the legend killer. Look at all these guys he fought. And hey, note to you, Roy Jones, let's say if you did fight Jake Paul. Remember, Floyd already beat his big brother up, who was 200 fucking pounds. Yeah. You said you can get down to about 180, right? Do that. Floyd don't even have to gain no weight. He'll still beat you. You ain't got shit no more, man. I seen that MMA guy that beat you, man. And you know the thing is, man, nothing I'm saying is because I don't like Roy. I don't know Roy Jones. He say a lot of stupid shit now. Something like that. In his old age, man, he's just, he just be saying a lot of stupid shit. But Roy Jones, man, like I said, I used to watch Roy, and I always liked Roy Jones as a fighter. There was nobody, I never wanted to see Roy Jones lose to no fucking fighter. Here's the thing with these people. They don't know who you are, and they don't care who you are. They just care that you spend your money to come out to the shows and watch them fight, pay-per-view, whatever, and all that. But even in that, when he lost to Tarver, like I said, the first fight I think Roy won. I don't think he lost that fight. I felt like he won. The thing is, they always say Tarver beat him, but you notice people never talk about the first fight. They always talk about the second and third. They never talk about the first one. But even in that, for the people that thought he lost, I thought he won. But when he got knocked out by Tarver in that second fight, I didn't like what was coming out of his mouth when he was sitting in there out in Murchison. Like, let's compare something. For example, how people don't take their own advice. They don't think the shit they say about other people, they don't take that same advice for themselves. Example, he was saying to Shane Mosley on Shane's show that he's like, and I'm watching it and I'm thinking that Devin Haney was saying, I don't know that Ryan Garcia take the fight seriously, right? He was saying, But I think he had him fooled, thinking he was crazy and all that, and think he wasn't in shape. But like, no, it don't matter. Because even if he ain't taking it serious, you still gotta take it serious, right? Okay, and I agree with that. And didn't we all say the same shit? That he probably didn't think he was really, I don't think he thought he was in shape, thought he wasn't ready, but he was. And he was on steroids. When Roy Jones lost to Antonio Tarver, he was sitting in the locker room next to Alton Murchison, just talking. And I said, yeah, see, this is one of them things, he just can't accept the fact he got his ass whooped. So he was making excuses to himself. Stuff like, like you wake up in the morning and you doing this stuff, like what you doing this for? It's hard for me to get up for these guys. I don't know what they got to beat me with, so like I don't know these guys, and it's hard. All these things he was saying, all because he lost a fight. I say, yeah. So all you did was lost, and if you understand why you lost, it shouldn't be hard for you to bounce back. And then very next fight, he gets knocked out by Glenn Johnson, who's not a big puncher at all. Third fight with Antonio Tarver, I mean, we know how it all went. Now, are you telling me that you think that we saw the end of Roy Jones start in the second Antonio Tarver fight? Because even though he lost 25 pounds of muscle and all that came down, mind you, he didn't get knocked out in the first fight. It was the second one. It was the second one. And that's why even when he said it, I'm like, but damn, maybe the rematch was too soon, but he didn't get knocked out in the first fight. He went the distance in the first fight. So if his body still wasn't adjusted, that goes to show you that Antonio Tarver is not as good as he tried to make it seem like. Because Antonio Tarver went the distance with a guy that just dropped the 25 pounds of muscle. This is the second time. And that's why when I think about it, I'm like, okay, even if that was the case, man, he couldn't take a punch, and he got knocked out by Glenn Johnson. And, I mean, I remember he fought this guy, Prince Badu Ajami, and, I mean, this dude had Roy hurt, and it was looking bad at first, and then Roy finally recovered. And then same thing, once Roy got his bearings back, same thing, he throwing them punches, and trying to play and trying to put a show on. And I'm watching, but it was like, yeah, it wasn't even the same. You could see everything was there. I'm like, yeah, Roy is done. Now, at this time, Roy Jones is in his fucking 30s. Do y'all think right now at Roy Jones' fucking age, y'all that tough shit he talking and all this, like he's still the same, okay, whatever. Y'all still don't get it. I feel like Roy is able to fool y'all just like Mike Tyson did, and whoever else y'all want to believe still is the same fighter or still can go in there and do it, because you see them hitting fucking mitts and shit and all that, and all that stationary throwing 5, 6, 7 hook. Yeah, I've seen all that bullshit. Yeah, okay, cool. Right. And this is what we judge fighters on now, right? See the way he was hitting those mitts? Yeah, right. We see the way he hit that canvas too, right? So this is what I'm talking about, man. Using people's name for clout, trying to pretend something, trying to make a situation out of nothing. And maybe he did that on purpose, hoping that Floyd would react so he can do what he did. Because, be honest with you, man, and I'm glad Jeff Mayweather finally started to speak out like he was supposed to. First video, man, it's like he was trying to be neutral. Floyd is your flesh and blood, man. But then the second video was like kind of the same. The third video, I feel like he got sick and tired of people asking him. And no, he didn't call Roy Jones stupid. I see that on the thumbnail. He said the situation is stupid, but he definitely said Roy Jones is the one who started this. He acted like Floyd did something wrong because he started. You said what you said about Floyd first. Bottom line, he questioned the man's heart. He questioned his resume. I mean, all the shit he's trying to do. And I told you, he's making it his business to keep talking about Floyd. So even if no fight happens, the fact that people are speculating, they're just talking shit because that's what they do. He understands the time we're in. But I believe he's doing all this shit to try to lean towards getting a Jake Paul fight. And that's Jake Paul style. Old, washed up motherfuckers. And honestly, man, if I'm in Jake Paul's shoes, man, I'm knocking Roy the fuck out. I'm not playing with this motherfucker. I'm not, he's a legend, I took it light on him. Nah, I'm knocking him the fuck out. And at the end of the day, you know, it's nothing for Jake Paul to feel proud about, because we can all see and know that Roy has not been the same fighter. Roy is an old man now. Let's be real. His body's beat up. I mean, he's physically beat up, man. Man, you even when I watch him shadow bite, everything he had all that, but everything is stationary. I'm like, yeah, his legs are gone. Everything, his legs was gone when he fought Tarver. But even for those people that's going, oh, yep, but y'all gonna be right there tuning in, watching that shit live. I ain't watched that Jake Paul Tyson shit live. That shit first happened. And you know, my son asked me that I want to watch it with him. And you know, and the fact that me just bonding, chilling with my son with it, but it was later. I didn't care about that fucking fight, man. It's circus act, circus show shit. But this is what boxing has become. Now keep your ears open and let's see what happens going forward, though. Because I do remember him clearly saying that. And I believe that his hate and jealousy of Floyd, yeah, that's real. But in terms of him using Floyd's name to try to, you know, build this profile up to get people to notice it, oh, yeah, of course. Absolutely. And that's what I feel is happening. But we'll see. Anyway, talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.